So the first thing we can notice in this question is they're talking about a cone. That's why it's a conical glass. And they're talking about the concept of volume. Now, the way we know that is because one, it says holds a certain amount of water, and the filling capacity is really the definition of volume. And then also the units cubic centimeters. In other words, centimeters cube indicate volume, just like centimeters squared would indicate area or surface area. And then centimeters to the first would be linear. In other words, talking about the length of a side or perimeter. So we know we're dealing with volume of a cone. So let's go to our reference document and we'll see that for a cone, the volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. So let's go ahead and write that out. And then we're going to go ahead and plug in everything that we currently know. We know the height is 5 centimeters. We want to pay close attention to the fact that everything is fortunately in centimeters or cubic centimeters, so we don't need to convert anything. We know that the radius is root, so it's still squared, but it's root m over 5 pi. And we have this pi and 1/3, and they say m is a constant, so some number. And they tell us the volume is 131. All right, so we can only have one unknown, which we do. It's just m. Pi is actually a number. It's an irrational number at that. Now let's go ahead and square this quantity. Now when you square it, you're squaring the top and bottom. Well, the whole thing's under a square root. So the square and square root cancel, leaving what we call the radicand, the thing that was under the radical. We still have times 5. I'm going to put it over 1. We still have times pi. I'm going to put that over 1. And we have 1/3. So, and then we have 131, of course, which we could put over 1. Now the pi's cross cancel. The 5's cross cancel. And then we still have m on top. And I'm going to go over here, but we have m times 1, so m, over 3 times 1 times 1, which is still 3. And that's all equal to 131. So to get m by itself, since it's currently divided by 3, let's multiply both sides by 3. And we could definitely use our calculator or Desmos. Either way, we get our answer is 393.